There's also the fact, I think, that people are starting to get more used to interest rates where they're sitting. In fact, I did a little exercise just before recording this, looking at where did fixed mortgage rates average in the 10 years before 2019. Hello again, everybody. This week I just wanted to follow up on something I was talking about last week with regard to first home buyers starting to come back into the property market. I've been noticing in the media that there's more discussion about first home buyers appearing there at open homes and maybe starting to put a few bids in, and the vendors, as I was saying, also becoming a little bit more willing to accept a reasonable price and simply looking to get on with their lives. Now this week I've got further evidence, and that comes from my monthly survey of mortgage advisors, and that's the first solid indicator of 4 weeks ago that we were seeing the first home buyers back. Back then I reported that a net 8% of the mortgage advisors around New Zealand were seeing more first home buyers. Then I got the survey with the real estate agents, and I think it was a net 5% of agents saying they were seeing more first home buyers. Now this month's survey of the mortgage advisors is showing a net 47% of them seeing more first home buyers stepping forward, looking for assistance, advice with regard to interest rates, arranging a mortgage, etc. So, solidly, I think we can definitely say the first home buyers are moving back into the real estate market. Not so much for the investors as yet. I've still got negative readings by and large for their intentions in terms of observations by real estate agents and mortgage advisors, but the extent to which they report the investors are stepping back is much, much less than was the case 4 weeks ago and 3 months ago. So maybe they're going to be following what the first home buyers are doing. Now, one of the things I guess at play here is obviously the fact that house prices on average have fallen 12% from their peak in November last year to where we are at the moment. There's also the fact, I think, that people are starting to get more used to interest rates where they're sitting. In fact, I did a little exercise just before recording this, looking at where did fixed mortgage rates average in the 10 years before 2019. In 2019, the Reserve Bank cut interest rates 0.75%. It's cash rate, worried about deflation in the economy. And then obviously the global pandemic came along and things got taken down to, record low levels, absurdly low, as it turns out. In the 10 years leading up to the end of 2018, on average, the 1-year fixed mortgage rate was sitting at about 5.3%. Now, of course, it sits around 5.2%. The average for the 2-year fixed rate was 5.6%, and now we're about 5.4%. So essentially, where the interest rates are at the moment is back to where they were averaging before the deflation worries of 2019 and before the global pandemic came along. Now, obviously, with house prices a heck of a lot higher, the size of the mortgages required is greater, and so the impact on people's debt servicing, dollar terms, is far greater than was the average in those 10 years up to 2018. But still, I think it is interesting out there that we are seeing maybe some acceptance of interest rates at these higher levels, which of course is a bit of a worry because the Reserve Bank, like other central banks around the world, still has a lot of work to do with regard to suppressing inflation. So I don't think people should anticipate New Zealand's fixed mortgage rates again coming down as they did a couple of months ago until maybe very late in 2023. We've seen some little increases recently for the 1-year term. It wouldn't surprise me at all, given the fiercity with which we've got central banks overseas indicating they'll fight inflation, that we could easily see some small increases again, maybe in the 2 to 3 year terms in the very near future. All the best.